Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Second Congregational Church, where whoever you are and wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. You are welcome to bring every single bit of you in here. The stuff you love, the stuff you hate, the stuff you only talk about with your therapist. Bring it all here because it's welcomed. As we know, Pastor Mark is on a sabbatical until the end of September, and the PRC committee has done a wonderful job of lining up a bunch of speakers. And today, hi, I'm Jana, I'm your speaker. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I'm going to talk about today. The theory is relationship between God and with church, because at my last TED Talk, you learned that I didn't have a church for most of my life. And so I have been on this sort of learning process of what it is like to be part of a community, that is church, and still have a relationship in God, because I think when I was younger, I thought you went to church and that was it. Church dictated your relationship with God. You had no relationship outside of the house of God, and I'm learning that's not true. And I'm also learning that there are a lot of traditions in church that I know nothing about, and that there are some I just cannot participate in as fully as everyone else does, and it's okay. And I promise not to be quite as jarring as my last talk. But without any further ado, let us be welcome. Let us get ready for our hearts and mind with this prelude. Thank you. Oh, that was so lovely, I almost fell asleep. Join with me now into this call to worship. In the name of the Creator who made us, we celebrate the goodness of our lives. In the name of the Christ who came to set us free, we rejoice in our diversity of love and life. In the name of the Spirit who sustains us, we challenge ourselves to grow and to dream. God, in your presence we gather. Be among us now. I did forget to say I didn't pick a liturgist because I picked the scripture and I liked it so much I wanted to read it. So you're going to hear my voice an awful lot today, and so either yay or I deeply apologize. Let us do our touching ground. Each week, we are invited to bring our whole selves into this place of worship. During the touching ground moment, you are invited to plant your feet firmly on the floor, rooting yourself in this space and into your body. You are invited to inhale deeply into a lung-filling, life-giving breath, and exhale slowly, releasing all that no longer serves you and keeps you from receiving love that is offered to you. Let us take 3 of those breaths. Amen. I feel better. I'm reading a reading of Jeremiah. You who are my comfort in sorrow, my heart is faint within me. Listen to the cry of my people from a land far away. Is the Lord not in Zion? Is her king no longer there? Why have they aroused my anger with their images of their worthless foreign idols? The harvest is past, the summer ended, and we are not saved. Since my people are crushed, I am crushed. I mourn, and horror grips me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why? There is no healing for the wound of the people. Oh, that my head were a spring of water, My eyes a fountain of tears. I would weep day and night for the slain of my people. All right, so my talk is about relationship with God and community, and I grew up without a church for a long time. And actually, I had this theory that I was talking with Mark. He disagreed, but I think I'm right. I mean, come on. I can't remember who told me about God. I literally cannot remember. Because after all, I was the kid who watched The Greatest Story Ever Told and ran into the kitchen and said to my mom, "Oh my gosh, you should see this. This guy is great." Had no idea that it was talking about Jesus, that it was about the Bible. I thought it was just like a really great action story. So I have this theory, and it's crazy, but I like it. Imagine if just before you're born, God whispers in your ear, Yahweh, and sends you into the universe. And that's it. That's all you get. Either you figure out who you're going to follow, who you're going to believe, or you never do. Either you follow that path and hear that in your ear all the time, or you don't. And it just felt like I always knew that there was a God. But I also didn't have a church. But I looked at churches as languages to God, that they're just not so much different beliefs, but different ways that you speak to God, like different ways you count, like un, deux, trois, uno, dos, tres, eins, zwei, drei, 1, 2, 3. I just said 1, 2, 3 in a bunch of different languages, but it was the same thing. I'm still saying the same thing. I'm still talking about the numbers. And so maybe that was how it worked. I also got in trouble because I used to pray to God when I was brushing my teeth. And my mom said that was highly disrespectful. And I said, no, it's more disrespectful when I lay in bed and pray to God and fall asleep. Because then I just feel like I'm leaving God hanging on a phone, and I fell asleep. And in my mind, God was just waiting for me to finish the prayer. So at least when I was brushing my teeth, I was fully awake, and I could fully have this conversation. And then I started having conversations with God when I was driving, and when I was just standing there. It was always in my mind. So my relationship with God, even though for a very long time I thought God hated me, was really strong. And then I found a church. And I wasn't sure if that would affect my relationship with God or not, but I did know there were a heck of a lot of traditions in church that I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about Nancy Jean would come up and hand you a slip of paper, and you would show up at 2 o'clock on a Saturday for a snowball bazaar, and there was no choice. I did not know that that was a part of the tradition of God in being a part of a church. And I have to say this. I said this the last time, but God bless Cindy Hudson Knapp. She was my Sunday school teacher while we were in choir together. Thank you, Cindy. Seriously. I mean, we would come and we would sing, and sometimes after the sermon, I'd be like, so what exactly were we talking about in this, and why was it important? Because I wouldn't get it. And everybody knew. And I didn't know. And that was a little bit lonely for a while, because you're in a place that has such strong traditions, and you're with people who fully know the Bible front and back. And you're like, well, in my perception, it felt like everybody knew the rules, but I didn't. And I was just always catching up. It took me forever to actually buy a Bible and bring it into my house, because it's felt that distant from my relationship with God and my relationship in church. Like literally, during the pandemic, I bought my first Bible. I asked Mark the best one. I got the HarperCollins one, and it sat in my car for a month before I brought it into the house, because it is a heavy, heavy thing to bring into your house sometimes. And it's in my house, and I have read it. I've looked at it a few times. It's still intimidating. It still seems bigger than I am, which is probably why I put myself at the bottom of that image instead of the top. Not that I believe I'm above God, but when I look at the relationship, it feels lofty and high above me and more than I am, and intimidating in a lot of ways. And so I tried to embrace everything and do everything, because I thought that was the best way to know how to be a part of church, know how to be a part of the community. Easter is interesting in church. It's nothing like my Easter. My Easter was you put on a pretty dress at 6 o'clock in the morning, stand on the hill outside the hospital, do not wear a coat, you're wearing a pretty dress. You freeze, somebody says something, you go home, you're allowed to nap, you put on your pretty dress, you go to a nice restaurant for breakfast or a brunch. My job, which no one gave me, was to check out how nice the restrooms were. I would go and I'd report back, there's a lounge, it's blue, all that stuff. You'd get a basket with candy, and I was a planner as a kid, so the giant Easter bunny would be taken out of the basket and stuck in my grandmother's refrigerator in the cellar, so that in the summer, when it was hot, I would have frozen chocolate. And then you went to bed and Easter was over. There was no more, there was no less. As I got older, I learned about Lent. Lent, you give up stuff. One year, I decided to give up dessert. I had no idea what I was thinking of. A, because I have a lot of people who have birthdays during the time of Lent. And I remember sitting there going, having a piece of cake handed to me and going, so am I going to hell if I eat this cake because I gave up desserts for Lent? The cake was delicious, by the way. But for me, everything was outer, and I didn't understand it. And then you come in, and Easter is a thing in church. My first Monday, Thursday scared the crap out of me. It was dark. You weren't allowed to talk to anybody when you left, and I need to talk to people after I go to church because I'm still learning. And it was so uncomfortable. And I remember the first Monday, Thursday I went home, I literally went home and wrote a really, really dark poem about giving in to the darkness, because that's how dark it was to me, because I didn't see any light in it. And then I went to Good Friday, and then we did Easter, and I remember being up here when the choir did a part where they were yelling, "Crucify him," during the song. I couldn't do that. That was too visceral to me. And so I kept trying, and I did the Lenten classes, and I came and, yeah, felt like I was doing Easter the way everyone else did Easter, but it didn't feel right. And the first Easter after the pandemic, I will say during most Easter I felt depressed, but I was also in therapy getting through a childhood that was horrible, so depression was not anything new to me. But the first Easter after the pandemic, sitting in here on Ash Wednesday, it was a great day. I had had a really good day. And I felt the heaviest depression come over me. And it wouldn't shake. And it just kept continuing to Easter Day. And I thought, well, maybe everyone's so happy on Easter. Christ is risen indeed. It's a good day, and it stepped for another 2 weeks. And then next Easter came, and I got depressed. And finally, I had to have a discussion with Mark, and I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but Easter depresses me. He's like, what do you mean? I said, it just depresses me, and it's horrible, and I can't get myself out of it. He's like, but it's a good thing. I'm like, yeah, I understand the story. I just get hung up on we killed somebody. And I can't, and I can't get past that. We don't kill the good guys. I need the good guys to live in my life. And I don't know, I've been thinking about it. Maybe the person that was connected to my life, that saw the death of Jesus, was so terribly upset. They went and lived in a cave for the rest of their life and never heard that he came back. But it's hard for me. And I struggled a lot because how do I be a part of this church? How do I be a part of this community when one of the biggest holidays that we celebrate here that is so happy for everyone depresses me and makes me feel terrible. And it's a depression I can't shake and I can't prevent it. But I don't want to not be here. And I don't want to not be a part of it because this is where I find love and God's love. So how do you do that? And I didn't know what to do for a really long time because it felt like if I wasn't a part of Easter here, then I wasn't a part of this church. It's a huge, huge thing that happens here. It's celebratory. Everyone is so happy on Easter, and I am still wildly depressed that we killed somebody. I can't handle it. I need my good guy to live. So I got permission from Mark that I didn't have to do it. But even that didn't feel right because it felt like somehow I was shortchanging myself in this relationship with God, in this relationship with church, in a church that I have found so hard to find. And of course, the first place I went is obviously there's something drastically wrong with me. That I'm too sensitive. But no, I just believe that I'm one of those people that as happy as I am that Christ comes back, I'm still really upset that we decided to kill him first. It breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart every year that we celebrate Easter. And it's so hard. And it's really hard on Easter because you guys are so happy. And I'm just not. This Easter, Matana wanted to come to church. So when I actually hugged Mark at the end of the service, I said, Matana made me come. Because I wouldn't have come. She thought she wanted to come to church this Easter, and I was not in the mindset to be that happy about Easter. And it's really hard. And it kind of felt like I failed you guys because I couldn't do Easter with you. Because this is something that you do and you love. So I struggled with it, and I've struggled with it still, because I want to have a great relationship with my church community, and I want to have a great relationship with God. But I've just kind of settled that maybe I will always be the person that is always terribly sad on Easter, and terribly sad for 40 days, because it doesn't seem right to me. Disney villains die. Disney's good guys don't die. And so it's hard to think that I still have a really great relationship with church sometimes. And it's hard not to feel like I'm failing in great ways. And so it's a struggle. And so if you don't see me on Easter sometimes, just believe, and I want to tell you that if you don't see me on Easter, I'm still with you. I am just quietly mourning still. And I don't know if it's okay or not. But I figure there has to be someone somewhere that still mourns the death of Jesus more than celebrate the fact that he comes back. And I hope that's true, because I'm one of them. And I will probably be one of them my entire life, because you don't kill the good guys. You just don't do that. And in my life, I need my good guys to live. I didn't have a lot of good guys. And I'd rather they stay alive. But by the way, I love Christmas, so it's fine. And so that's my story. I'm still learning how to be a part of a church community. I'm still hoping that my relationship with God is strong. And I hope desperately you'll forgive me if I just can't join in with you on Easter. Thank you. When so much of the world is groaning with injustice and destruction, we are invited to turn to God and one another. We are not meant to carry the struggles of the world alone, and so in a spirit of collective embrace, may we share together in prayer for all the troubles of our heart, for all of the bodies in suffering, deprived of resources, withheld from care, and made into targets of violence. God, hear our prayers. For all whose spirits are in despair, those who are facing loss or grief, those who are isolated, or those struggling to accept their worth. God, hear our prayers. For all of the ways power is withheld over communities and individuals, for those living under oppressive forces, for the temptation towards complicity with injustice, and for the ways the church sometimes uses you, God, as a weapon rather than a tool for healing and liberation. God, hear our prayers. Here are the prayers of you people of the Second Congregational Church. Prayers for Nancy C., a friend of Susan Sue G. Nancy is having major surgery tomorrow. I'll add prayers for Robin, who has tested positive for COVID. Just as we are not to shoulder the world's pain alone, we are equally invited to delight in that grows around us with one another in joy that sustains us. Sorry, it's my handwriting, I apologize. For the beauty. God, we give thanks. For gifts of shared meals and community and relationship that transforms and sustains us. God, we give thanks. For every source of courage in the face of all that makes us afraid. God, we give thanks. Here are the gratitudes of the people of Second Congregational Church. Al and Ginny, a new great-granddaughter born on great-grandma's birthday. Yay! Gratitude for Robin's ministry of service and love to our church as an office administrator. For your we got to thank Robin. Let's. For your presence within and around us in a higher way, our despair, God, give us thanks. Hear our prayers and our willingness to show up for each other. Now let us say together the prayer Jesus taught us as it speaks to us. Our God, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses. Lead us not in temptation, but us from evil. May we bring about a small glimpse of the kingdom of God, where all are fed, well, and free, where all are whole and know they are loved and also know they are beloved.
This day the light of God.
even though Robin isn't here, I thought we should talk about the greatness that is Robin. I believe every good organization has to have someone that you call the person. Just the person. Who will know that? Well, Robin will. That's the person that knows where all the warranties are, knows knows who probably needs a phone call, who needs a hug, knows where all the keys are, knows all the secrets, and knows how to anticipate everything, and is willing to help out at any moment. And I would say we lucked out with Robin. She has been that person. She has come up with ideas like potlucks and sing-alongs. She has been able to help people who walk through the door. She's been a shoulder to lean on. She's been a person to listen to. I know personally, because she has worked with special needs kids, she has helped me invaluably when dealing with Matana. And as the chair of trustees, Robin and I have more conversations every week. My first thing normally is, "Hi, Robin. So, what do I need to know?" And I know she'll tell me what's broken, what might need to be changed, who might need money, what's not going right, here's this problem. And I'm happy to know that I've always been able to ask her that. It has helped me greatly being the chair of trustees because I trust her implicitly. And we, again, lucked out because Robin has been the person. And we are so lucky. And we are also so lucky because we get to still be friends with her and be in community with her and celebrate her and wish her well and hope that she has as much fun as she deserves after putting up with us in the way we count money here in the church. She started a gold star system, for those of you who don't count money here, and there are not very many gold stars. There have been days that she apologizes to me because she doesn't have the deposit ready until almost 1, and I'm like, "I'm fine." And she will say, "Well, so-and-so came in the office, and so-and-so came in the office, and none of this was right." And I'm like, "That is fine." She apologizes for things she doesn't need to apologize for, and she feels bad for things she doesn't need to feel bad for. But she is always there and ready to help. So it's a huge loss, but it's not a loss because we get to stay with her. But we are so grateful for everything that she has done to help our office run great and everything she will continue to do as being a part of the members of Second Congregational Church. So Robin, I hope you are watching. We love you and we send you this applause for you. I forgot to do the offertory part, so let's just do the blessing. God who gives, knowing no ending, we offer up the treasure that you have entrusted to us. We offer up the skills and time that you have graciously given to us. We offer up ourselves in service and praise. Receive these gifts by your grace. Multiply and use them through the power of the Holy Spirit to accomplish Christ's work of love in the world. Amen. As we have hopefully been transformed, go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all people. Love and serve the Lord, caring for God's earth and rejoicing in the power of the Holy Spirit. And we receive this blessing, same one from last time. May the warm winds of heaven blow softly upon your house. May the Great Spirit bless all those who enter there. May your moccasins make happy trails in many snows, and may the rainbow always touch your shoulder. Thank you.
If you have any announcements, would you please come up to the front? By way of birthdays this week, Barbara on September 22nd, Linda on September 25th, and Michael on September 27th. And I just want to point out one thing from the announcements on the back. If you haven't met Karen Ham, she's an absolutely delightful individual, and she's in the nursery. So please feel free to sign up and spend some time with her. You will enjoy it, both for the little ones and both for her. She's a real sweet lady. So, Kathy?
And if you would like to help out with Karen, the sign-up sheet is on the bulletin board out in Webster Hall. We also are looking for folks to help with church office coverage. Technically, this is Robin's last week, but because she tested positive for COVID, most of this week she will not be here. So we still this week would like to find somebody for Wednesday, and then there's days the next 2 weeks after that. I have to step out and count money after this, so I'm handing off this clipboard to Bruce Smith. So if you are able to help out in any way, please see him. Thank you.
David?
Please sign up for the fellowship luncheon this coming Wednesday, noontime. We may be joined by another group from exercise and balance class who are going to have a potluck themselves, and they may bring a speaker to we may merge, and the speaker may talk to us about falls and fall risks. So not fall the autumn, but fall down, not good, that kind of fall. Balance so you don't fall. So please sign up and please come. And if you need a ride, there's a place on the sheet to write down if you need a ride.
Just quickly, I am no Nancy Jean, and I do not have a clipboard saying, you come at 2 o'clock on, but I am in the position of inviting people to participate in the Snowball Bazaar if you are interested, particularly for people who haven't had the opportunity to do that before. Come and hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. In particular, we could use someone who might be interested in helping with a silent auction. So that's a really important position, and I'm looking for somebody who might, there's a team that works on it, so you aren't working by yourself. So if you're interested, let me know. Thank you.
Anyone else? Well then, oh. You're worth coming to.
As I spied Ernie, I remembered that last year he collected a whole 5-gallon bucket full of little tiny pine cones that were perfect for the centerpieces. So I'm appealing to anybody who has pine cones falling in their yard. If they are round, the long ones don't work so well, but round ones, no matter what size they are, I will take them. Thank you.
Nature wasn't as generous, but I do have a small bucket for you. Any other announcement? Oh, David?
I am putting Miss Deborah on the spot here, but we unfortunately had to light the red candle for something that happened that I wasn't aware of, and she knows more about.
I only know what NPR told me on the way to church this morning, but there has been another shooting, several people. It was in Atlanta. It was late last night at the site of people having a good time at a nightclub. That's all I know at this time. But one person hurt, many people hurt, whatever. They have 5 people killed and 20 injured, and that's what we know as of fairly early on, since it was late last night that it happened. Hence, the red candle appears once more. So I don't have any other words.
So let's keep those people in our prayers this coming week, and all those that are perishing through absolutely mindless uses of violence and guns in this country and in others. So, as we listen to the prelude, please remember afterwards to greet one another with words and signs of love and peace.